Hello, this is Spellbinder with this news article from Infowars.com, and I'm going to show a couple of videos off of YouTube and give credits. This is geoengineering, killing off the useless eaters. And Paul Joseph Watson, very good writer from Britain. He's an excellent writer. He starts talking about these chemtrails and how they're just spraying this stuff and telling us it doesn't exist in things. Whatever it is, global warming loons are at it again, despite the science behind man-made climate change being completely discredited by the Climategate fiasco, and with increasing number of American skepticals about the AGW, mad scientists at the Carnegie Institution are using taxpayer money to lay the ground for injection in atmosphere with dangerous compounds which are known to cause debilitating health problems and could lead to massive droughts and famines. In other words, they're going to create the global warming. If it isn't natural, they'll just create it and make it so. Isn't that nice of our New World Orderists, eugenicists? Alarmists are once again trying to play God in a bid to solve an imaginary climate crisis based around their own fraudulent belief system, fully aware of the fact that the consequences of their actions will likely kill off millions in the third world, people who they see as nothing more than useless eaters. Based around the madcap method of injecting aerosols of sulfate into the stratosphere to produce a global sunshade, researchers at the Carnegie Institution Department of Global Ecology have been running advanced trials on how to distribute artificially added sulfates to the atmosphere in the name of cooling the planet. Yes, they're trying to cool the planet, which is already cooling by its own, especially since the oil has stopped the flow out of the Gulf, and I can see England going to get pretty cold this winter. The Carnegie scientists ran 5 simulations using a global climate model with different sulfate aerosol concentrations depending on the latitude. They then used the results from these simulations in an optimization model to determine what distribution of sulfates would come close to achieving specific climate goals. They then tested these distributions in the global climate model to assess how well the climate goals were met. States a press release about the study. You can read that there. One of the main authors of the study was chemclouds, a man who told a conference of fellow warmists earlier this year that it would be a good idea to make the emissions of CO2 an illegal act. Presumably, that would include very process of breathing, since all humans exhale carbon dioxide. That's right. The man asked with playing God with the environment thinks breathing should be criminalized. See, they're going to criminalize the air you breathe. If you exhale, you're a criminal. My God, these people are mad. They're absolutely loons. But it gets worse. Caldera is an advisor for and is being funded by Bill Gates, another eugenicist at hand. The man who thinks that old people should be killed to save teaching jobs. The man who says that vaccines, which his foundation bankrolls to the tune of billions, should be used to lower population and bring CO2 emissions down to a level approaching zero. That means everyone must go. He's mad. Another Bill Gates has went loon. This gaggle of Dr. Strangelove characters, people like White House science czar and geoengineering euthanasist John Holden, the man who advocated forced sterilization, mandatory abortion, and drugging of the water supply, are now tinkering with the planet in pursuit of their barbaric eugenist agenda. Would you let Ted Bundy take your teenage daughter out on a date? Would you allow Iron Brady and Mr. Myra Hindley to babysit your children? And yet, here we are, a gang of elitists who have publicly stated their intent to use their threat of global warming and overpopulation as a justification for killing and sterilizing people, and we're giving them free rein with taxpayer money to play God with the planet Earth. What is wrong with this picture? Injecting the atmosphere with sulfate aerosols is completely insane, untested and dangerous proposal. Rutgers University professor Alan Robach has warned that such experiments could create disasters, damaging the ozone layer and potentially altering the stratosphere by eliminating weather patterns such as the annual Asian monsoon rain season, which 2 billion people rely upon to water their crops and feed the population. Imagine if we triggered a drought and famine while trying to cool the planet. Robach told a geoengineering conference last year. However, when you consider the fact that the global warming mantra is a thin veil for eugenics and population control, it's unlikely that the world's elite care about 1/3 of the planet's population being unable to eat. In fact, they would probably see it as a bonus to get rid of people. The known facts about what happens when the environment is loaded with sulfur dioxide is bad enough, since the compound is the main component of acid rain, which according to the EPA causes acidification of lakes and streams and contributes to the damage of trees and at high elevations. For example, red spruce trees above 2,000 feet in many sensitive forest soils. In addition to acid rain, accelerate decay of the building material and paints, including irreplaceable buildings, statues, and sculptures that are part of our nation's cultural heritage. I mean, these people are nuts. And this is what it does to you. It says the health effects of bombarding the skies with sulfur dioxide are among enough to mothball taxpayer-funded research into this idea. The following health effects are linked with exposure to sulfur: neurological effects and behavioral changes, disturbance of blood circulation, heart damage, effects in the eyes and eyesight, reproductive failure, damage to immune system, stomach and gastrointestinal disorder, damage to liver and kidney functions, hearing defects, disturbance of the hormonal metabolism, dermatological effects, suffocation and lung embolism. You know, where you just stop breathing and die. And it goes on. But to have time to play all these videos I have involved to show you what they're doing with the chemtrailing. This is the first one here. This is a news report that was put out. The local news station confirms barium in the chemtrails. Barium is a optic reflective material actually used on binoculars and optics to create that basic brown reflective surface, you know, you see. Or I guess it's the brown one. I don't think it's the blue. The blue is something else. I believe it's the brown that you see on there. It makes it more absorbent to light inputs and reflects glare. Well, this is what barium does.
Could a strange substance found by a southwest Arkansas man be part of a government test? Well, that's the question at the heart of a phenomenon called chemtrails, now getting widespread attention. Well, tonight, KSLA News 12 investigation reporter Jeff Farrell shows us the results of testing we had done about what's in our skies.
It seemed like some mornings it was just crisscrossing the whole sky. It was just like a giant checkerboard.
Bill Nichols snapped several photos of the strange clouds from his home in Stamps, Arkansas. They begin as normal contrails from a jet engine, but do not fade away like a normal contrail. Soon after, he saw particles in the air.
You know, because we'd see it drop to the ground in a haze.
Nichols then noticed the material collecting on the ground.
This is water and stuff that I collected in bowls. I had it set out in my backyard on my dad's pickup truck.
KSLA News 12 had the sample tested at a lab. The results? A high level of barium, 6.8 parts per million, more than 3 times the toxic level set by the EPA. Armed with these lab results about the high levels of barium found in our sample, we decided to contact the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality. They told us that, yes, these levels are very unusual, but at the same time, they added the caveat that proving the source is a whole nother matter. Barium is a hallmark of other chemtrail testing, which even attracted attention from a Los Angeles TV station. There's already no shortage of unclassified weather modification programs by the government. But those who fear chemtrails could be secret biological or chemical testing on the public point to the 1977 Senate hearings in particular, which confirmed 239 populated areas had been contaminated with biological agents between 1949 and 1969. Later, the 1994 Rockefeller Report concluded hundreds of thousands of military personnel were also subjected to secret biological experiments over the last 60 years. But could secret testing be underway yet again?
I'd rather it be something inert and benign, you know, something that's, you know, not causing any damage, but I'd like to know what it is.
KSLA News 12 discovered chemtrails are even mentioned by name in the initial draft of House Bill 2977 back in 2001 under the Space Preservation Act. But the military denies any such program exists. Jeff Farrell, KSLA News 12 reporting.
And, you know, it turns out until 9 years ago, the government had the right under U.S. law to conduct secret testing on the American public under specific conditions. Only a public outcry repealed part of that law with some exceptions.
Jeff's report mentioned high levels of barium linked to those alleged chemtrails. We wanted to find out exactly what effects barium has on the body. We spoke with Mark Ryan, the director of the Poison Control Center. Ryan tells KSLA News 12 that short-term exposure can lead to anything from stomach to chest pains. Long-term exposure causes blood pressure problems. Ryan addressed concerns by chemtrail researchers that barium could be meant to wear down a person's immune system.
Anything that causes ill effects in the body long-term, chronically, is going to affect your ability because it's constantly working on the body. So from that aspect, yeah, that's a potential.
Ryan says he's conducted research on his own about secret government testing on the public, but he's still a bit skeptical about the alleged chemtrails, at least at the moment, because the Poison Control Center has seen no calls about exposure to barium.
Oh, really? Well, let's see. This is the rest of that article. Let's go to the next. This is another video, and this is even better. This is chemtrail spraying from a KC-10, and this guy's making comments about it, saying, "Hey, look at that! They're spraying chemtrails." Listen to this. This is from Virus TV. Watch how the chemtrail shuts off and comes back on. Did the engine just go out? No, I don't think so. Someone's turning it on and off, or it has an auto system that allows it to go off and on. See? Totally off. Where's the chemtrail or the contrail? What contrail? It's a chemtrail. This is what you're seeing the evidence here. This is damning evidence that they're actually spraying you with chemicals from aircraft. I've never seen anything more damning than this video that this pilot took and was brave enough to come forward with and put it up on YouTube. There it is. They turned it back on.
You see him spraying that chemtrail? Yep. Feels like we're above it. I know. Oh, it's really dead right now. I'm gonna put this on YouTube.
You videoing right now? Oh God, don't video right now.
It's like it's spraying out of the top of his wings.
Don't do any evidence.
Don't draw any evidence. My God, we don't want evidence. That's what the pilot said. Ah, there's that one. That's what the pilot said. Don't do that. That's evidence. Well, yeah, that's the damning evidence that the smoking gun. And here's this one here, which is another one, and you'll love this one too. This is only 47 seconds long, and it's as damning too. I think this is a continuation of the other one.
Yeah, one thing I did is I grabbed mine, and I go wrong to basic guidelines. I got mine as an example every time, and that's the only thing I can go by.
Yeah. I mean, it's little things, like after an exclamation point you need 2 spaces, and then capital, but after a semicolon only 1 space, not, like, where's that shit written?
It isn't, it's just
not
no.
Is that? It's not probably, but they're close.
When we go to ALS, and we do our EPR, not EPR, but our bolts over there, it is absolutely, without a doubt, not anything like the bolts you put on a real EPR. The bolts over there are 2 lines. It's 2 lines. Each bolt is 2 lines long, and it's like,
we don't do that.
No.
They're explaining they don't do that. They're not supposed to have trails like that. No, that's not right. And these guys are telling you. So until next time, this is Spellbinder with this special report on chemtrails. I hope you enjoyed this. Be good to be good at it, and have a good day.